Hi. If you are watching this, you've probably realised that every time you see my face presenting one of these videos, you'll notice that I wear different clothing. This indicates at the moment that it's winter in Australia. Now, what's this got to do with you as a retiree? It's got to do with the changing seasons. Every time I put on lighter clothing as summer approaches, or heavier clothing as winter approaches, it's showing a cycle of seasons. Now, this is obvious. But how many of us really think that those seasons are applying to us as well in all manner of circumstances? Everything is changing. Everything is changing. Nothing is permanent, except, and this is important, the experiencer. The experiencer of your life is you. Everything else changes around you. Now, where we come into trouble as we grow older is we look to the past and think how we were. And this can cause us quite a bit of angst. I used to be so fit. I used to be so healthy. I used to be so strong. I can equate to that. In my 30s, I was very strong for my age. At 88, well, hardly. The point is, as I said, everything changes. And as we've been told, when we cling, we suffer. And yet we do cling. We cling to our old ways. This is particularly so for people coming up for retirement or already retired. Hard to let go of what was. And yet we know, probably somewhere in our 50s, maybe our late 40s, there was a change in us. The things that motivated us before no longer do. It might have been to buy things, might have been to add to our little empire. And it gave us such pleasure to do so. So much fun to buy the bigger car, maybe the boat, or whatever we aimed for and got. And once we had it, we felt proud and happy. But for how long? And then it went, always after something ahead. Never quite satisfied with what was or what is. And then suddenly, it seems suddenly, retirement looms. What are we going to do? This is where so many of us come unstuck, because we identify with what we was, or what we were. People ask me sometimes, what did you do when you were working, Tom? And you know what? I was very proud to say about the sort of work I did in the early years, between when I started work and say 41. Very interesting work, dynamic radio operating type work, adventures. After that, around from 42 to when I retired, dull office work. Nothing really worth recording. In fact, I remember saying to someone, I had more adventures driving a delivery truck in 6 months than I had in 17 years working in an office. So few things to remember. So I found that letting go of my office work was easy. But what about you? You might have been in a job that you really love, but you couldn't keep up. Technology left you behind. Or you could keep up, but the employer didn't want you anymore. You suddenly find yourself having to retire. And this is when I said, It causes angst. I'm going to read a little bit from this book. I advise you to get this book if you are in your 40s or above. It is a bestseller, and Arthur C. Brooks has really looked into this business about how we change in middle age and how it can affect us. And here's one bit. He was studying some academic, and this is what the academic said. As one management scholar puts it, employees who do not successfully traverse this period experience ongoing identity instability. They are cognitively and emotionally consumed by loss, stagnating in their inability to let go of the old self and to embrace the new and changed work self. How many people are like that? I know a fellow, he's a good friend actually, and I haven't seen him for a while. He worked for the same employer all of his life. Started work as an apprentice, a lad of 16, worked till he was 65, then became a consultant for another 5 years after that. And now he's languishing. He doesn't know what to do with himself. Stays indoors all the time, watches TV, bored silly. This can happen to us if we don't let go of the old image of ourselves. And remember, that's all it is. It's just an idea of what we are. We were never a plumber, a carpenter, a CEO, an engineer. These were just roles we played. Drop the roles, take on new roles. And remember, the real you, the I am, that never changes. Whilst the rest of life, the rest of the universe, continues to change, and it will continue to change. Unless we change with it, we will always feel angst and upset and distressed. Embrace the change, go with it, accept it, and life will be a lot better and happier for you.